Yeah, so recently life's been pretty good. Started the new year, just getting back into things. Went full steam ahead. Started with BPM Festival. It was in a jungle. The settings were incredible, and the set went down really, really well. And we've just been making a lot of plans ahead with my brand, Homegrown. I think we had a lot of success with the release last year, and I think this year is really about homing in on Homegrown. So in March, I'm playing SXM Festival out in Miami Music Week. I'm playing at Space on the Terrace, which is going to be amazing. And Miami Music Week always goes off in El Salvador. And then I'm coming back to the UK and I'm playing at the Loft. The next big thing in April is my All Night Long at Fabric, which I've just announced. It's where I'm really going to be able to show people what I can do. The next EP, it's called I've Been Waiting. Quite ironically, because I feel like everyone has been waiting for me to release music again. I haven't released music in 9 months. Track selection, I'd say you could say a bit more synthy with this one. Like there's a lot more like melodic elements in this EP, which was like purposeful because I have other EPs that are coming out this year, which are more of like the stuff that people have been like requesting and really waiting for, that are like big summer tracks. So I thought to start the year off, kind of show a bit more of a maturer side, and start people off easy to work into the year. So the release is coming out on the 10th of March, and we're doing it digitally and on vinyl this time. And for the vinyls are being pressed using something called Eco Mix. It's just a way of using old vinyls. So they recycle old, broken, unused vinyls and then remake them into the new vinyls. So it's like sustainable. And also it means that each record that comes out has a completely different color. Like we don't know how they're going to come out. So it means each record is basically one of one. That record will be the only one that looks like that. It's what we do with Homegrown. We like to number everything and make sure everything is specific to that moment. What's exciting about the label is that I'm starting to bring new people on the label, which I haven't, in the first 2 releases haven't. And I hadn't planned, but some of the music I've been being sent is just too good not to sign. I won't tell you who, but yeah, I've got 2 more releases in the pipeline for this year from different artists. And yeah, they're wicked. I wouldn't say they're specifically exactly like my sound. That's not what the label's going to be about. It's about a vibe that I think works on the dance floor, and that I like. And so, yeah, I'm signing music that I think, has the same energy, but people can bring their own vibe to the label, and that's what you're going to hear. I would say that the label doesn't have a sound. To me, it's got to be a vibe that works, and that's what Homegrown has always been about, like someone bringing everything that they've been inspired or influenced by to the podcast and to the label. One of my most recent tracks that I made called Knock Knock, and it shows a new development in what I'm making and another side to my sound, which I think you can really hear in the difference.
Why do you think that is?
Why do you think it's a new development? Just because of the dynamic, range in the song. Like before, you never used to hear me work with synths and things like that, or have everything work in key and things like this. But that song, for me, it kind of just shows the level I'm getting to at my production. And even like the breakbeat, the B2 wildcard, it's completely new sort of vibe that I haven't released before. And I saw someone comment on one of the SoundCloud clips saying like, oh, this guy's really like, his production's really developing each time. It's so inspiring. And like that comment specifically to me was like really special because I'm really trying to do that. I'm trying to not just make the same sound all the time. I'm really trying to develop and like push the boundaries a bit, but not crazy away from what people know me for. And I think this EP kind of shows that. And then it leads into some big bad boy bangers for the rest of the year.
What's helped you grow to what this production that we're hearing now, this new release, from what you were at 2 years ago?
I'd say the main thing I'd say is not being afraid to use different instruments, different synthesizers, different styles of loops or things like that. Like you can get so stuck in your ways of knowing what works as a producer and knowing what you can make. I did as well at the start. I would just make a Rossi track and it sounded great. But after a while, it's just going to get the same and people are going to get bored of it. So if you want to grow, just try new synths, like learn like just different ways of doing it, because it might be hard at first, but it's only going to progress you longer as an artist. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I think it's that growth is really important, and I still have so much more to learn. It's not like I'm at the peak yet. There's still so much more for people to see. Don't have any boundaries. Like you can give yourself such tunnel vision when you're in the studio because you want to sign to that label, or you want to make this kind of music, or I want to make that track. But if you give yourself those boundaries, you're only working within the realms of like that tunnel vision, and you're not going to grow. Like the best stuff that's ever been made, in my opinion, is the stuff that comes out of nowhere that you didn't even want to make. Like that's where you're at the sort of sweet spot of making music and music in general. Like David Bowie used to say, you should be sort of half scared or doubt like what it is to be in that sweet spot of like artistry and creativity. So don't give yourself any boundaries and think, oh, I just have to do this. Like let your mind go where it wants to go. Just want to say I love the podcast. So I've been a big fan for a while.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually my first ever podcast.
Thanks, guys.